don't worry, I'll sort it all out. And then he's gone up to the bar, and he's moved the coaster a bit.
Does anyone know where he announced his progress so far?
He's doing one of those factory things with his shirt sleeves.
Yeah.
That politicians do when they want to look manly.
I was there actually. It was in. So he's announcing his big news, his huge victory, and you would think, well, where do you announce that? The House of Commons, that our elected representatives can question him about it. And in fact, he was about 75 miles away in Wiltshire. And this is just to show you that David Cameron is totally open-minded about possibly leaving the EU, and he's not trying to influence anyone here at all. He made his big announcement at the office of a German company whose boss supports the EU, and in fact introduced Cameron's speech by telling him to get the referendum over with as soon as possible so that we can all reunite with Europe.
I'd have loved if he delivered it in Esperanto as well. He should have worn a costume or something. He should have joined in a little bit.
He always looks very sort of unsettled in those places, like a sort of unhappily married sales rep killing time in a Costa or something.
The best ones he does is when he does speeches in factories or warehouses, because then he's confronted by an audience entirely of working class men, and you can see the fear in his eyes. And he does something very different from them that he doesn't do at, say, a Tory party conference or an audience of businessmen. He always starts his speeches in factories or warehouses with a joke about association football. You can see the thinking. What does the common man like? He likes the soccer, Prime Minister. I see. Which team do I support again? It's Upton Villa, I think.
I've heard that he's smooth as an eel. Is that true?
I've never caressed
Body
him.
hair wise.
Yeah, body hair wise. I've heard that. Like,
Oh, you should see him moving through the water.
I was listening to somebody, a political cartoonist, talk about having actually met him and was being astonished by his physical smoothness.
Oh, no, this is Steve Bell of The Guardian, who always sort of emphasises Cameron's smoothness by drawing him with a massive condom pulled tight over his head. At one time, he actually he bumped into Cameron at a conference, and Cameron gripped him by the arm, so you could tell immediately he's not really all that delighted with this particular. And he said to him, Steve, yes, it's very funny the way you draw me like that, but you know, I think you can push the condom too far.
He wants to, he's not going to stop child benefit, but child benefit will now be paid at the same amount as the person's country of origin. And bearing in mind there are 27 other members of the EU. That's a teeny weeny bit of paperwork he's created for himself right there. In fact, I think it's actually going to cost more to put that through than it will save. So that's brilliant.
Lots of exciting wording in it. Take this bit. The union institutions, together with the member states, will facilitate the coexistence between different perspectives within the single institutional framework, ensuring both the effective operability of union mechanisms and the equality of member states before the treaties. I mean, if that's not music to your ears, I don't know what is.
You take that on the campaign trail, up and down pubs in this country, everyone will be saying, that is exactly what I've been saying for years.
It's all about the Germans. Everything, when it comes to the European Union in this country, it all comes down to how British people feel about the Germans. And I personally love the Germans. You know, I've lived in Germany, and I like them. But by God, they love a rule. And not some of them some of the time, all of them all of the time. In Germany, by law, if it's a mixed sauna, men and women steaming together, by law, a man must be naked. A man must be naked, because to a German's mind, if a man is, if there's steamy female flesh and a man's in his swimmers, he might be hiding a sneaky bit of business. A sneaky tumescence, whatever the Radio 4 term for a hard-on is. So, to their mind, and honestly, you can go into a sauna in Germany and you'll go to yourself, right, I'll wear my shorts, and when somebody complains, then I'll speak in English, they'll realise it's a cultural difference, and I mean no ill, right? I swear to God, if you walk into a sauna in Germany with your shorts on, German husbands will get up from their wives, red-faced with rage, and go, do you mind? My wife is here! Show me your penis!
Eventually, this is the reform package which David Cameron has thrashed out in Brussels with President of the European Council and charismatic, faceless bureaucrat Donald Tusk. Cameron said that he would join the European Union on the basis of this deal, following an emotional scene where he clasped Donald Tusk in his arms and whispered, "You had me at protocol number 36. David Cameron has secured measures known as the emergency brake and the red card, but has been forced into a climb down on his proposed lucky dip, where if a country plays their joker during the showbiz round, they get double farming subsidies. Conservative MP Steve Baker said the renegotiation was like polishing a poo. It looks funny, it smells funny, and when you poke it, it's soft in the middle. Regardless of his politics, this is a man who's clearly done his research. 2 points to Susan. Michael, which crews took control?
This is the American presidential elections, and they're still in the early stages. At the moment, they're going state by state to decide who the candidates are going to be for the Republicans and the Democrats. they're in Iowa, first of all, this week, and the Iowans have chosen the Republican candidate. They want it to be Ted Cruz. And so there's tremendous sort of excitement about him at the moment. Although, personally, I wouldn't get carried away because, just winning the first Iowa caucus, as they call it, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the nominee in the end. I mean, if you look back at the last couple of elections, 2008 was apparently won by a guy called Mike Huckabee, and I've had a look on Wikipedia. I'm pretty sure he's not been president yet. And on the Democrat side, it was Hillary Clinton v. Bernie Sanders, which was won in this state by Hillary Clinton. The result decided by the age-old democratic tradition of the coin toss.
But the coin toss thing, then, how does that work, then? How close does it have to be before it's decided on the coin toss?
Oh, they were about, I don't know, they were within 1% of each other.
0.2% difference between the two of them?
But it was the person who came third in the Republican race that was the interesting one, this kind of moderate Republican, because I don't think the Republican Party want either Trump or Cruz.
And the problem with Trump is he's raised the bar of nuttydom so high now, so that anybody that's even just a few millimetres underneath that bar, you go, well, they seem quite moderate, don't they?
Yeah, you're right. Marco Rubio, he came third, who's also Cuban-American like Cruz, but he's meant to be the moderate Republican candidate. He hasn't got a lot of depth to him, but he's very smooth. He's a smooth talker. He's very smooth.
Oh, you should see him through the water, then.
I think
There's a great quote about Rubio, because he's a great orator, very smooth. But there was a congressman said of Rubio recently, he goes, "Oh, to see this guy speak, old women swoon, young women faint, and toilets flush themselves." The weird thing about it is, it's this, it's quite quaint, isn't it? Iowa kicks the whole thing off. I mean, it's totally unbalanced, apart from the fact that Iowa is way more white. And so is New Hampshire than the rest of America. Older, whiter, more church-going. If you look at it on a map, it's a perfect square of corn. That's all it is. It's a giant cornfield with Methodists in it.
Interesting to see Trump, who obviously hates to be a loser, lose, but he's passing words to Iowa. I found him slightly threatening. He was like, "I love you, Iowa. I'm going to buy a farm here."
The difference, though, I think, between the Democrats and the Republicans can be seen in almost in the names of them. Hillary and Bernie. Sounds like a lovely old couple you'd meet on holiday. Whereas, Trump and Cruz sounds like something old gay men do.
Does anyone know any Ted Cruz trivia?
Ted Cruz trivia. I know that he's born in Canada.
That is trivia. He once cooked bacon using only a semi-automatic rifle. There is a video of him. You can watch it on YouTube, in which he uses a semi-automatic rifle to cook bacon. Just the sheer heat of it.
Has he never heard of a George Foreman grill, for God's sake?
Do you know anything of any of this got to do with Adele?
Yes, Trump's been using her song. Which one?
Someone like you.
No, it was not Rolling in the Deep.
I think someone like you.
Oh, is this someone like you?
I don't know, so you two are going to have to fight it out.
Someone like you.
No, not Gosh, the temperature here has dropped several degrees.
She said stop using it because she doesn't want him to use it.
That's right. His rallies are the only place on the planet that you can go to now to get away from me. Sorting things.